Howdy, y'all. Welcome to the Mental
Hey
Health
guys,
Podcast. I
yeah,
didn't know I was going to do a cowboy thing, so that was a surprise to me, too. How you been?
I've been all kinds of things.
Yeah,
I've been feeling. I went through surgery. It's been major, first surgery in my life, and it's been a challenge.
yeah.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, all of that stuff. Yeah.
Do you mind telling people what kind of surgery it was? You keeping it in the house?
No, sure. I mean, like it's. I had a problem with my hip joint, so it's basically hip joint replacement surgery.
That's so crazy. Like, I was just telling you, my mom had two knee replacements, and it's so, I don't know what the fuck. It's so weird having a surgery. I've had like a knee surgery too. I don't have any cartilage left in my left knee, actually. It's bone on bone. So it sucks. I probably need another one at some point too.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing, like how advanced our medicine is, right? Like, when you look at the kind of stuff that they do, it's really amazing, right? But then you look at the resilience of the human body and also the fragility of the human body, right? It's all of that.
Yeah,
So I
it's
think
amazing
that
how it's.
kind of one of the things, right? Like, I would say that when I was younger, that was like you had to learn it over time to be more. I had to learn it over time to be more gentle with my body, right? Because like I had more of a mindset of like, let's push through this sickness and pain and whatever. Let's just like do stuff, and it's been powerful, but also I probably messed up my body in some ways. So yeah, I've learned to be more accepting and gentle with the body and more sensitive to what it needs.
Do you find that like when you're not trying to achieve something, like if you're not in business or in sports or some kind of goal, it's easier to actually give yourself what you need? Because that's what I've noticed.
Well, but it's like we're always trying to achieve something, right? Like we are either trying to hide from some fears or we trying to run towards some desire. And in each particular moment, those are different, and and they drive us. And then it's our relationship with those emotions, right? Like how easy it is for us to be, if you will, present with those emotions without avoiding them or rushing to do something about them and so on. So that's kind of the biggest deal.
Yeah, it's hard to be present no matter what you're doing for a lot of us. I don't know if it's just because of the distractions we have, but it's just like something about human consciousness. It's like we're either disappearing into our mind or something. I mean, it's at least for me, it's like always some new
Yeah, I
thing.
mean, like, and I said being present, but like, I really don't even believe in the concept because I think that we always as present as we can be, just like the human body navigates their current state, and then it's either there is more thinking or there is more feeling or whatever it is, right? Like, and quite often, as you know that quite well, especially for smart people, the brain generates so many complex stories, and then there is all this thinking, like, what to do and how it will affect you and how to ensure your safety in the future and what happened in the past, all kinds of spinning stories.
Yeah, even I saw this study where even like the best meditators in the world, it's like they get these thoughts, intrusive thoughts or whatever you want to call them, like at least every 10 seconds. So like even the best people in the world that's saying like, "Hey, I'm present" or whatever, they still can't do it for longer than
I
like
mean,
10 seconds
it's
on
such a
average.
silly idea to demonize thoughts. Thoughts are thoughts. What's the fucking problem, right? Like, but we
Yeah.
humans, we hope to, like, what? If I get rid of thoughts, then I will be permanently in bliss. Like, fuck you, life says. That's not the case, right? Okay,
Yeah.
then I will be celibate. No, I will be vegan. I will be whatever the fuck, right? Like, we're trying
Yeah.
to find some magical solutions, but, there's no solution because there's really no problem. Like, here's your life right this moment, and you deal with this moment, and the next moment will be different, and there's no magical silver bullet to any of it, all of it.
Yeah, I mean, I discovered, I mean, everybody not everybody knows this, but you know this, and a lot of people I've spoken to know that like these thoughts just seem to kind of arise, and
Yeah.
it makes me think about there's all these theories of like consciousness and like where things come from. There's this one theory that says like it's just there, and we're like some sort of antenna for it or something. And it makes me think it's more of that, although again a concept, but it's just the
I've
way
come
they
across that,
arise.
but I will confuse even more because here and there are concepts. So
I
it's
know.
like, the idea of thoughts coming from there to here, that's already like, a whole bunch of fucking layers of conceptual
Yeah.
abstractions.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy. It's crazy. A lot of people
like
like because you've done like a
everything
lot of
that's
meditation.
everything that's happening right now is like in a way you can say is generated by the brain, right? All of the representations, and we have no idea how they relate to stuff,
Yeah.
real reality, if you will. So, but there's no real
You seem
reality because it only exists and is generated, in perception. So, it's very confusing. It's very
yeah, it
beautiful.
is. Some days I'm like allergic to concept almost, and some days I can't. And that's a concept obviously within itself too, but like
Oh, concepts can be beautiful. You
there's
can
no
masturbate
escaping
with
it.
them so much, and it's like, like this concept and that concept, and oh, I
Yeah.
have this beautiful insight, and I had so many fucking insights until I have the final insight, which was really that all of my insights are bullshit. They just like,
Yeah.
okay, here's the current thinking about stuff, but it's always just a model. It's always a simplification, right? Just like when we discuss, oh, light, is it a wave, is it a particle? Well, it's both and neither, because those are just models.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all particles and waves, and then also it's not because those are just our ways of explaining the unexplainable, which is
Yeah,
like just using concepts.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly.
it's cool. It's it's uh it's something that you notice when you've done psychedelics. That everything's just like, whoa, like it kind of like stops. Not all of it, but it kind of like
Yeah,
stops
yeah,
you from going
it can
into
be
each
different.
concept.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, like I remember one time,
But I mean, yeah, and
like
psychedelics
my
can also
words just
generate
felt
all
weird.
kinds of new crazy concepts, right? Like, I've seen people, then they come out of that and then they have a whole new bunch of new fancy layers of abstractions from like spirits and gods and universes and dimensions. Like, okay,
Yeah. Last time I had an experience, I forgot how to talk, and I started, and I could still think. So I was like thinking about using words. Obviously, I was like, wow, words are so weird. They're just like sounds.
yeah,
And then I tried to say the sounds, and they wouldn't happen. And then it's like I couldn't form sentences. It was just gone, and
right.
it helped me see something about just the brain. I was like, that's fucking so crazy. Like once you lose touch with that part of yourself, it almost makes it easier to see that it's like this infinite vast thing that we just label. We label here, we label it there. It's like a little like
Yeah,
a
totally.
blueprint.
I know what you mean, right? Because basically, in my metaphor, psychedelics, they basically disrupt the functioning of the highest layers of our brain, the ones that are typically responsible for their higher, most conceptual abstractions, right? And and as they get disrupted, and language is one of them, right? Because language is all about imaginary concepts and objects, and when that layer is disrupted, it's a really interesting experience, right? Because there's still some kind of perceiving happening, but it's no longer being abstracted. It's fascinating.
Yeah, there's like multiple selves all smashed into like one you. And it's like again concept, but like
Yeah,
there when your words are disrupted, there's the you that still knows my words are disrupted, and there's also the you that knows like I don't know what these words are, yet you're still thinking in the words even though you can't say the words. It's like a total like it just
yeah.
for me it's like hard to describe
It's
obviously.
impossible, right? Like, and then
Yeah.
you come out of it, and then you can describe it. But your description is very far removed from the actual experience when you had it.
Yeah. And then the experience of thinking that you're dying, and then the experience
Yeah.
of letting go and be like, I guess I'll just die then. And it's
Yep.
like, and then you come out, you're like, that is so insane. Like, I don't want to die, but the feeling of acceptance that comes from that, and
And and
powerful.
also the funny thing, right? Like once you quote unquote die, and then like, oh, I no longer exist, but things seems to be okay.
Yeah,
That's the craziest experience.
yeah, yeah. And I also noticed like the only reason I don't want to mainly because I'm curious about. We've joked about like what if it's awesome. Like I'm always curious about what that experience is like, but always like this thought of other people and what they're gonna think, and they'll be sad and this and that. That's what always stops me from like thinking it's good. And even though those moments where I like lose my self concern for it or concern for my own
Yeah,
like safety or whatever. So that's kind of a bummer,
yeah.
I guess. But yeah, I mean, have you learned anything from dealing with all the pain of your surgery?
Not really, fuck lessons because like why do we need lessons? It's an experience, right? And
Yeah.
at some point it was very painful, then it was a bit less painful, then it was frustrating, then all kinds of experiences, and it's different. And I've been feeling a bit better the last few days, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like because the mind or whatever the human brain hopes that it can accumulate stuff, accumulate meditation experience, or accumulate some lessons, and then in the future they will somehow protect it or whatever. Like no, right? Like this is the current moment and this is it, and you cannot bring any stuff into this moment, and you cannot bring stuff into the next moment, which will happen. So
Yeah, it's very interesting. What part did you, I mean, what part did you love and hate most about it, I guess?
I would say like for some time. I mean, pain is difficult, right? Like when we deal
Mm.
with pain, so that was pretty difficult. Helplessness, when the body is not really functioning, when it's really a big adventure to get out of the bed, go to toilet, and I'm still
Mm.
not able. Well, I mean, I'm barely able to put on my right sock myself. So
Yeah,
it's those kind of
yeah,
things, right? Little
I
silly
remember
things.
that.
Yeah,
I forgot that feeling of you bend down, and then that causes all kind of weird pain from muscles stretching and stuff. And you're like, oh shit.
yeah,
And then you
yeah,
try to like
totally.
push your foot into the sock, like, oh wow, I shouldn't push. That hurts a lot.
Yeah.
Have you done like physical therapy? Are you doing that?
Yeah, I mean, they gave us a bunch of exercises that I've been doing daily and so on. So, yeah, slowly, every day, a little bit.
Yeah, I rushed mine and I like screwed up my knee. Like I like remessed it up like immediately. This was like a long time ago. But then I started taking like too many painkillers. And
Yeah.
then let me clarify for everybody, this is like 10 years ago. But then I started like drinking beer with the painkillers because they weren't working so good.
Ooh.
And then I started getting into a weird place mentally. And then I remember going back to the doctor and he's like, "You've ripped through these way too fast. I can't give you any more for like 2 weeks." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh
Yeah.
no, this is gonna really hurt." And I had to like learn how to experience the pain.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
always cautious about that, like because they gave us a bunch of painkillers, and one of them was some kind of opioid, and I never touched that one. I was
Yeah.
really tempted, but I was like a bit scared, like I don't. I would do it if I really had to, but somehow I managed to deal with the pain without it, and that was my preference.
Yeah, once you do it, the euphoria is kind of hard to resist because we're always trying to change our experience, like we've said, and like it it's very nice, and that's why I don't do anything. I don't do like anything anymore, but like um it's
Yeah,
I remember going out in public on it and being like, "Oh wow, there's like no anxiety." It felt like I was able to just talk to
yeah, yeah,
anybody and do anything. It was weird, very weird. Kind of kind of awesome and terrifying at the same time too, looking back.
yeah. No, I mean it's very powerful, right? And like
Yeah.
the concern is always like we kind of with a lot of the things we kind of borrowing from the future, right? Like, so we feel better in the
Yeah.
moment, but then it becomes even harder to deal with stuff in the future.
Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah, that can
downside.
cause a whole different experience. Addiction is
Yep.
no fun, so definitely. But I think I just noticed we're at our 15 minutes. We'll leave it there. I know you got probably
Yeah.
recovering to do. So I don't know.
Right on. Yeah. No,
But
it was good to catch up, and we will
yeah.
now resume doing them on a more regular basis. Yeah. Good to see
Yeah, I
you,
was trying
man.
to give you some breathing room because I know it
Yeah.
can be
Yeah. For
like up
sure.
and down. So, but for anybody out there listening or watching, you know, go get a surgery. It's awesome. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But they won't
But
just
don't
give
get
you one if you
addicted.
want one.
Don't get addicted to stuff. Yeah.
Don't do it. No.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I love you, and I will talk to you soon. This has been the Mental Health Podcast.
Take care.
All right. I don't know what that was. All right. Bye, everybody.